What's up, everybody, and happy Thursday to you. Trey Griggs here, host of Standing Out and the founder and CEO of Beta Consulting Group. Glad to have you with us today for another show about sales, marketing, and leadership right here on LinkedIn Live. It's been a great week. I was at the McLeod User Conference this week. Great to see everybody out there in the industry. Some good tech that's being built out there. Got to show that off and see some friends as well. It's always a good time to do that. It is trade show season, so hopefully we'll see you out there on the road heading to Trimble on Sunday in Las Vegas, Triple Insights. And then, of course, next Thursday and Friday, get to MC the 3PL Systems User Conference. So a lot of good things coming up. Hope to see you out there on the road. Make sure that while you're on the internet, though, that you're out there on social media. Check us out at Beta Consulting Group or Trey Griggs 24. And then, of course, you can find us at our website, betaconsultinggroup.com. Love to interact with you, and we'll talk to you soon. Click that little button on there that says schedule a call with yours truly. Tell us your story. We'd love to help you write yours. It'd be great to connect with you in that regard. Also, if you are watching this live, but you don't have time to watch all the shows, be sure to subscribe to us on audio podcasts, wherever you get yours, Apple, Spotify, Google, all of those. Check us out, Standing Out. Make sure you subscribe and listen to every episode on the car ride home or on your workout, whenever you are doing that. All right, before we bring on our guest today, got to say thank you to our sponsor for making this possible, our friends over at SPI Logistics. If you are a freight broker or an agent or thinking about becoming an agent, and you're just wanting to do your own thing, you're tired of the back office, the admin, the finance, make sure you reach out to our friends over at SPI Logistics. They've got everything you need to keep you in your sweet spot, working with your customers. They take care of everything on the back end. Check them out at success.spi3pl.com. Again, success.spi3pl.com. And then finally, the event coming up here in December, but we want to promote it now. Wreaths Across America, going to be December 16th of this year. This is an amazing event where you can go to your local cemetery and you can put a wreath onto a veteran's tombstone. They're all across the country in 4,000 different locations. So no matter where you are in the country, you can make this happen. Take your family, take a group of friends, take your coworkers or whatever, and go lay wreaths on the memorials of veterans all across the country. To learn more about that, visit wreathsacrossamerica.org. All right. It's time to bring our guest onto the show today. I've known this guy for a long time, doing some amazing things in our industry, has an incredible track record. He's a serial entrepreneur and just doing some absolutely incredible stuff. Please get up for my good friend from Soap and the founder of Nolan Transportation Group back in the day, Kevin Nolan. Good song, my friend. I love this one. You know what? You're kind of an underground hip hop guy, and I know that. That's one thing I love about you. You know, because I'm the same way. People look at me and don't think hip hop, but I love the '90s hip hop. Can't beat it. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's what I was raised on here in Atlanta.
That's right.
It's the best.
There wasn't a better hip hop era, in my opinion, than the '90s. I mean, the '80s was good too with Run DMC and some of the new ones, but the '90s really hit it hard. There was some classics that came out of there that I still listen to from this day. Is Notorious B.I.G. your favorite, or do you have others?
I mean, that song "Hypnotize" is one of my favorite by far. There's a group of them that are kind of that are go-tos, right? Like Outkast, Biggie,
Snoop Dogg. You can't beat that.
Yeah, I love 2 Chainz, T.I., anything from Atlanta. That Biggie,
that's awesome.
That Biggie song definitely, was one that, when that came on, you knew it was time to get going.
Yeah, it hits hard. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. Well, Kevin, thanks for being on the show, man. It is great to have you on. You're somebody that I've looked up to for a long time. You're a serial entrepreneur. In fact, the way that we met was I was at DAT back in the day, and Nolan Transportation Group was an account that I adopted, and I came down to Georgia to see you guys. You were at the old mill, and I'm sure you remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, you had just launched the Tomahawk TMS, I believe is what it was.
And, Freight Hawk.
Sorry, excuse me. Well, that was close.
Hey, Tomahawk for the Braves. That would have been a good one. I got that confused because we have Braves gear.
I may have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your freight brokerage, Nolan Transportation Group, was the first freight brokerage that I had been to where I really just saw the floor. I saw all those college kids in there. You guys were just getting started at that point. I think like really starting to ramp up and scale at that point. And I was like, man, these guys are different. There's something going on here. And I met you and Blake and the crew, and it's just really great. That seems like forever ago, I imagine, in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, it not really. I mean, it was, and it still is, just that brand of great men and women that come together and cover a tremendous amount of loads day in and day out. And that takes a tremendous amount of collaboration and team building. And, So yeah, it was a ton of fun. Ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could tell that, like coaching is your strength because everybody had a positive attitude. The vibe was just good. It was just a good vibe when you walked into that place. And that says something because some of those places aren't quite as positive as that.
Yeah, and a lot of it depends too on, is it a culture of growth or is it a culture of, maintaining and so, you know, NTG, I've said it before many times, in any market is going to grow, right? We just that's what we're built to do, and that's what Ken and Drew and Perry and that management team over there, they're keeping at it, and they just did another big class a few weeks ago, and I know they're going to do a big one in January. Just got to keep growing, and no matter what the market is and what's happening, just keep pushing through and making sure the roster is always strong. Right,
Yeah.
that's the hard part. Our business is mostly a people business, a hustle business, a get after it business, and just you gotta keep going day in and day out.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about that in just a minute. But before we go on, we always like to give our guests a little piece of swag. So are you a coffee drinker or a water bottle kind of a guy?
I am a water bottle kind of a guy. I'm not. I
Oh,
don't drink.
beautiful.
Yep, I'm off the caffeine right now.
All right. So we're going to send you this beauty right here for being on the show. We appreciate it. Do you want it in black or do you want it in white? What do you prefer?
I'll take the black one.
Beautiful. All right, it's on the way. We'll ship it out to you. So we appreciate you being on the show and supporting that around the office. That'll be great. All right. So since Nolan Transportation Group, you have started, I don't even know how many companies, but the ones that I know of are OTR Finance and Marquee Insurance Group, probably some others. And now your newest venture, which is Soap Creek Investments. Is that correct?
Yeah, Soap Creek Capital. Yep, Soap Creek.
Capital. All right.
Yep.
Very good. And are there any others I missed? Are there other things that you've dabbled in that I just don't know about?
Oh, I've dabbled in a lot of things. There's some restaurants in Atlanta that I've invested in. The Select.
Oh.
Yeah. There was
What kind of restaurant? I didn't know about this. Now when I'm in Atlanta, I feel like I need to go and
I'm not the only one. So Fritz from OTR and Clayton and Chris Ebel and a few others. So one of our original investors, he had a restaurant idea, and him and his operating partner is called the Select. It's in Sandy Springs. It's got a great scene. They've got live music and good food. So we do a lot of company events there, and it's very close to our place. So
what's
yeah.
the best thing on the menu?
Oh man, the cold beer used to be the best, but now I'd say they've got a really good like miso sea bass. They've got a good steak. Yeah, all the foods are all pretty good. The bread, believe it or not, the bread and butter it's really hot, just nice bread and butter. It's
You know
really
what's
good.
crazy about restaurants? That's the differentiator in most restaurants is those types of things. A place has real good bread, like Olive Garden has good breadsticks. People talk about that. They don't talk about the pasta so much. They talk about the breadsticks. So
The bread, because
I know.
there's two things. You want to give them some bread fast and get them their bill fast. There's nothing worse than waiting around for
Love
your
that. Hey, it was
right.
like Dirk's been to the Select, so we've got a fan right here just watching it. They've already been to the Select, so I'll have to make sure I check. I'm a fillet guy. You got a good fillet there at the Select? I'm sure
I
you
think
do.
they've got a pretty good fillet. They do.
I'm sure they would. That's my
It's
that's
the
my signature.
steam too. Like they do a great job putting up stuff on the ceilings. With the same group, we're doing another restaurant down in at a place in Atlanta called The Works, and they're going to have a restaurant in there as well. So
When's
David,
that launching? Coming up?
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not going to put a timetable on it because then if it doesn't meet it, because I have nothing to do with it from a timing standpoint.
That's great. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to hit the Select next time I'm in Atlanta. That's a great option. Looking forward to that. Oh yeah. So he wants to know what's up with the flowers on the ceiling. Dirk, listen, this is our show, not yours. We're gonna talk
That's for
about that
great Instagram posts, right? That's so that people
for the
come.
gram.
They want to get some content in the restaurant. So they
Do it
do
for
a
the
great
gram.
bunch, and yeah.
Love that. Love that. So you've started a lot of companies. Most of them have been wildly successful. What do you think is your secret? Like I know that people matter. You're a coach, building people up, but like, how would you frame that? What is your secret to success with these different companies that you've had in the industry?
I think the key is we're in industries and we are in a big market, right? So there's enough for everyone to win, not only us, but the other competition. It's not, it's as they say, it's a highly fragmented market. Well, that's very, very true. And I think the hustle aspect of it, and just knowing that if we come in and we compete against the market, that is a big market, and there are others in there, that we will outwork them, we'll out technology them, we'll out capital them, and then we'll just continue to grow. And that's been the mindset. And so everyone who comes in knows that they're going to have to play a role immediately, right? There's not we have some training programs in our businesses that are decent and better than probably a lot that are out there, but it's still a very, 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 like, we need you now industry and businesses. So I think it's all about our ability to recruit and find the right talent in the beginning, right? And we have those men and women that they know coming in that they're not going to be in a 6-month training program. They're within a week or two, they're going to be expected to pull weight, and so we get hungry people that want to be part of something that's growing in all the businesses, and it's pretty dang fun.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. As a new entrepreneur, I'm learning the value of an A player versus a B player and how that impacts your business, and finding those A players makes a huge difference. And the mindset too, I love it too. Like, there's enough pie for everybody to win here. Like, we just got to go compete, and it's going to work out. I love that attitude. Love that mindset. I think
because
I agree.
if you're going after big chunky business that only a few people can win, those like setbacks, like, it hurts when you lose an account that's going to be on the brokerage side, even 10 loads a month, right? 15 loads a month. Like, that stings to lose that, right? But there's a lot of those out there. So if you lose that one, you can go get 10 or 15 more. But if you're going after giant contract, slow sales cycle business, you lose those. Those are huge letdowns, right? Those are emotional. So, as a sales culture that can pick itself up fast, right, and then go grab new opportunities and shake off the loss fast, like, just keep swinging, right?
Yeah.
Just keep going. That's, fail fast. So, that's what's tough, right? As we as a business have swam upstream in all the businesses, and that are winning bigger contractual business or larger carriers on the factoring, or actual large brokerages on the factoring, the insurance side as well. Like, those losses, they sting. So just being able to have enough leads, that's the other aspect. You have to have unlimited leads, and in transportation and logistics, I believe that there is that, right? So
there's a lot out there. That's absolutely right. You're hitting a lot of singles. Occasionally hit a home run, but you're just trying to get a lot of singles. There's a lot of them out there to hit.
I would rather a broker have 10 individual loads from 10 different customers than 8 from one and 2 from another. Right?
Yeah, diversify that 100%.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. Okay, let's talk about Soap Creek, because I love this. So you are an entrepreneur. I mean, you have a vision caster. You see things, but at the heart of you, you're a coach, and you started Soap Creek Capital to pour into other entrepreneurs. What led to that? And let's talk about that a little bit. What led to you starting this?
I had some people that when I was up and coming, took me under my wing and helped, right? And I've been through some aspects of the industry and business that a lot of people haven't, whether it's, taking on bank financing, whether it's, having a minority stake bought by a private equity group, then having a controlling part bought by a strategic, and, still rolling in equity, selling, other businesses parts. And I just feel like all that I've done, a lot of people in our industry haven't done yet, because our industry is so young and new. And so it's an opportunity for me, not only with some of the money that I've made, to hopefully get a good return out of it, but also work with some of the best businesses in our industry, as well as the best entrepreneurs, to help them move up to the next level of investors, right? We kind of see ourselves as, the get your feet wet with professional investment and management, on your side in business.
Did you bootstrap your first business, and was it NTG or was there something before that?
It was NTG. It was bootstrap, but also I had a tremendous amount of investors locally in the area. Men and women that had anyone in Atlanta that I knew that I felt like understood logistics or had some capital to help, I would meet with. So family, in-laws, you name it. I would use it to fund receivables because you get paid by the shipper slower than you have to pay
Right.
the carrier, right? And
Yeah.
so I would bridge that gap, and then I brought on traditional bank financing, which made that easier to do. But yeah, every
You
time I
essentially factored your own company. You created your own factor.
did, I did,
Yeah.
I did. But I needed that capital to grow because banks at that point didn't even really know what freight brokerage was, right? They knew it a little bit, but they didn't know, the traditional ins and outs of it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we, had,
You've
we
created you've created a factoring company since then. There was an issue today that on LinkedIn about another factoring company in the industry. Factoring companies don't always get the greatest view in the industry sometimes. Would you go back and do the same way with raising money from friends, family around the area, or would you go back and use a factor? What do you advise new brokers to do?
I mean, look, the factoring company to me, NTG was and is still associated with a factoring company, right? We use it for quick pay. We use it for, a lot of different areas of our business from a cash flow perspective because it is so hard to predict when a shipper is going to pay you, but you have to pay your carriers on time, right? And there's no personal guarantee usually involved in a factoring line for a broker. So I've used factoring. I still continue to use factoring. I think it is a great non-traditional banking way to get capital fast that allows you to be nimble and work on your business. So I think there'll be more and more brokers that'll use more and more different banking and factoring arms because capital to me is the biggest inhibitor to growth in the brokerage industry because of that float difference of when you
Yeah.
get paid and when you got to pay out.
Yeah. I learned that recently. I knew that carriers relied on factoring a lot of times when they get started. I didn't realize how much brokers rely on factoring when they get started, but that float makes all the difference. When you have to pay somebody and you don't have money coming in for a while, you got to fill that gap. So it makes sense. I just
Yeah.
didn't realize that until recently. So
Oh, look, logistics is one of the more fluid industries where they know, if somebody pays slow, like everybody knows, right? And so you have to continually get we're very proud of how, we've gotten our days to pay down over time. But, in the beginning, that was one of the hardest things for us to grow. And then people wouldn't believe that we were, you know, growing the right way and everything else. So it's tough because you got to pay your vendors timely. You have to pay the truckers on time, or they're going to go take loads that they're going to get that they are going to get paid on time.
yep, 100%. All right, go back to the investing, but let's go back to soap creep. What kind of investments are you looking to make? Are you looking at technology? Are you looking at other brokerages or maybe service providers? And what are you looking for in a young entrepreneur?
So we are looking for technologies and services that help brokerages mainly, or help truckers, or help factoring companies. So we like all kinds of onboarding technologies right now. We think that's very important. We are in carrier assure as well as we're in highway. We believe that there's a lot of manual work done at brokerages when they're setting up trucking companies that's just redundant and not needed. We love, I'm looking actively for a TMS for truckers, small truckers. But yeah, we were lucky enough to have been investors in Lean early. We are not anymore as they graduated to a bigger private equity group, but that was an incredible investment for us, which was to me a game changer in the industry of having people, work in other countries like that had not been done before. But it's been a major success for us at NTG and OTR
Yeah.
Marquee.
Their growth
But
was
yeah,
incredible too over the last couple of years. It's just been amazing to see that.
But then on the other brokerage front, that would be a TI, NTG type situation. And I think Ken and Mark and some of those guys are always looking for great brokers to add. And I think there's, going to be hopefully more and more. Eagle was a big success for us that we purchased in 2020. And so, I think there's opportunities all around with all of our investments and things we have going on.
What is it about an entrepreneur, about a founder, about the person that's running it? What are some qualities you're really looking for?
One is that they're able to admit fault, right? Like that to me is the biggest issue, right? Is like it's okay to have a strategy that you've tried and it didn't really work out, and then you move on. And so, you got to stay true to your core as well, right? Like McDonald's makes a lot of its monies on burgers, fries, Cokes, right? The McChicken they make decent money on, but it'd be weird if they just tried to go head to head. So, stick to your core. A lot of people in transportation get the technology bug, right? And so, as long as they're focused on doing more and more and more of their business, not that they're trying to build the next best technology. Again, like to me, the best management teams are users of technology, great users of technology, not just builders of technology, but great users. So I know there's a lot there in what I said, but mainly sticking to the core, and that they just know that what we've got going on, we can grow and get more clients.
Yeah. And I think the first point that you made, being able to either admit fault or admit that something didn't work, I think that's hard for entrepreneurs to do. So finding that person it makes it special. Probably makes them stand out a little bit easier to work with, I bet.
Or at least they have some people in the room with them that will say it, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a management team that is willing to challenge themselves, right? And I know a lot of management teams that are out there right now in these last few months, they're battling hard, right? And
Yeah.
and they've had a situation where they needed, staff and to, like, it was a peak for 2 years, right? And now the demand has gone down, and they've got to right size their businesses and make really tough decisions. So, I feel for a lot of people that are in our industry right now that are making tough. I'm lucky to have good management teams that are doing a lot of that right now. So,
yeah, part luck and part you're a pretty good recruiter. So we're going to give a little bit to that
the
as
most
well.
important part, without good people, you can't get anything done.
That's right. Recruiting is huge. It's absolutely huge. A lot of people working hard right now for not much money. Hopefully the market turns and all comes back around. Okay, Kevin, we got to pause for a minute. We like to play some games on the show. Like to have a little bit of fun around here. So today we're going to play a new game called Would You Rather? All right. Just like it sounds, here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw some options up there. You're going to let us know which one you'd rather do and why. All right, here we go. The first one is, would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak? That's a little depressing.
I could not talk. It just I'd rather lose the ability to read.
I think you could survive without reading, but I agree with you. I don't know. Just knowing a little bit, I think that's a good choice. All right, and the next one. Would you rather have a sing off with Ariana Grande, have a dance off with Rihanna?
Dance off Rihanna. I cannot sing well, but I could.
You've been known to cut up a rug. I've heard some stories. Yeah.
Happy feet. I like to get them going.
All right, the next one. Would you rather go a year without desserts or have to eat a spoonful of wasabi every day? Do you like wasabi? Are you a sushi guy?
So wait, I don't understand this question. So go a year without dessert.
Without desserts. You don't get to have a dessert for a year, or you have to eat a spoonful of wasabi every day, but you get your desserts. Like which one would you rather have to do?
I'd probably eat the spoonful of wasabi.
Oh man.
I love it. I mean, this morning I was in a meeting for Marquee. I think I ate 4 of the 6 donuts that they brought.
So you
I
would
love
tough through the wasabi to keep the desserts. I like it.
I would.
Good call. All right, next one. Would you rather always be overdressed or always be underdressed? I think I know the answer.
Underdressed.
Yeah, 100%
Underdressed.
underdressed. Yeah, you're not going to find me in a coat and a sports jacket or anything. No,
I
no.
do
Move
like
on.
to dress up though, right? Like sometimes it's on when you got the sports coat going and whatever else. But
See, I never felt that way. I don't know. I know some people do. I'm real comfortable just being casual. I don't know. So
no,
maybe I just
there's a game time costume for business, right? It's on when you wear certain suits or but I couldn't
that's
do
true.
it every day. I couldn't.
Yeah, no. When I did door to door sales in Portland, Oregon, I had to wear a suit every day. Man, that was wild. It was raining on us. That's crazy. Okay, next one. Would you rather everything you doodled became real or have the power of telekinesis? Everything you draw becomes real or have the power of telekinesis?
I'd rather have everything I draw become real.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. Okay, 3 more. We're almost done. Here we go. The next one is, would you rather be able to fly or be able to breathe underwater? This one's easy for me.
I think I'd rather be able to breathe underwater.
Really? Why is that?
I love to fish, right? And I love
Okay, there you
fish.
go.
I like water. I do a lot.
See, I'm not I've always wanted to fly. That's why Superman is my favorite superhero because he can fly.
I
So I
have
always
dreams that I am flying sometimes.
I've had those as well. Like the squirrel costumes jumping off mountains. I've had dreams of doing that kind of stuff. Oh
Yeah, where
man.
you're just floating around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, next one. Would you rather always have a full phone battery or always have a full gas tank of gas?
Phone battery.
Isn't that crazy?
I
Yeah,
mean, my phone battery is a real issue in my life,
it's
right?
so annoying. I know. It's so annoying, and
I
I don't
mean,
drive
it's
that
a
much.
real
So
issue. It's a real issue. I would pay like at conferences or in an airport or, just there's a lot of times where I would pay as much as I pay for a tank of gas for a full battery.
yeah,
Hands
like a
down.
charger you could carry
Maybe
around.
10 times more for certain calls or Zooms or whatever. You're looking at it and you're like, you got 4% and you got
Yeah,
a 30-minute
stress.
Zoom. Ain't gonna work.
It ain't
You're
gonna
gonna
happen.
add 16 minutes into that Zoom, right when it gets juicy,
I
right?
would even say I get more stressed about that than if my car's on E. I mean, I don't even worry when it's on empty, but man, that's the phone battery thing's a problem. That's for sure. Okay, last one, and then we're gonna get you out of here. Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or be in a robot apocalypse? That's interesting. I don't think I want to be in either. Which one would you rather be in?
Terrible. I mean, I would rather be. I mean,
I
the zombies probably because I feel like they're softer, and I don't
yes.
know.
I
I
don't
don't
want
know.
anything to do with the robots, man. As bad as it sounds, I don't want anything to do with the robots. I think that's don't want to mess with that. So, all right. Well, that was this episode of Would You Rather. Thanks for playing, Kevin. Appreciate that. All right. Last
Thanks.
question for you as we get out of here. I'd love to hear one thing, like you love to coach. All right. So you got a new lead in your organization. What's like the one thing they've got to get right? What's the one thing they got to get right?
I mean, recruiting first and foremost. Whoever you are having out as the face of your company, or how you are letting people in and out the door, how stringent you're being, right? Are you hiring the right people or are you just hiring people? Right?
Mm,
Because if you have a strategy and a plan, it is not going anywhere if it does not have the right people to execute it. So, recruiting is because I mean, it's the first aspect of any business and the lifeblood. But I mean, the other part is just collaboration. You can tell real quick when you walk into a room real quick, is there a real collaborating team here, or is this a team of people that are competing with each other and are waiting for the next person to be quiet so they've got something on their mind they've been saying or wanting to say. So, I don't know. You can just tell, and be persistent. there's a lot of men and women out there in their businesses that probably want to raise capital or get bank financing, or, you're going to hear no as many times as so. How people deal with the bad is what you look at a lot too, because most deals, most transactions or things that happen, they take months, sometimes years to get done. So it's okay to hear no a few times and just pick yourself up and get back at it.
Man, there's a lot of nuggets there, man. I appreciate that. Recruiting, being persistent, don't stop, be collaborative. I love that, man. Really appreciate it. Kevin, thanks for being on the show today, man. Appreciate your wisdom, appreciate your friendship, man, and wish you all the best. Have fun out there playing golf today, man. Enjoy.
All right, I'll see you around, buddy.
All right, we'll see you, Kevin. Take care. All right, everybody, don't forget, come back tomorrow, noon Central. We got word on the street. We're going to be talking about what's happening out there in the marketplace with the street crew, having a lot of fun. So make sure you join us noon Central right here on LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook, and we will see you tomorrow. Other than that, have a great day. Thanks to our friends over at SPI Logistics. And don't forget to check out wreathsacrossamerica.org for the upcoming event December 16th to put wreaths on tombstones at cemeteries for veterans. Appreciate you guys out there. Have a great day. We'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.
Saying nothing, so I just speak my peace, keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace, with my peace.